Welcome to another podcast here at Absolute. And today I'm super excited to have the one and only Ismael from Partnership Realty, broker, owner. And let me just say that I've known him for over 14 years. He's an amazing person. I'm so happy to have him here today. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about what got you into the real estate market? What got you into this business?
Something really important. I guess I'll pin it down to two. Independency, to be able to control my own schedule, not having to work from a 9-to-5 job. And then second, most important, if you're going to pick out a line of work that you want to, choose from, and there's a lot of fields out there, you want to pick out the one that's going to give you the highest return. And there is no other line of work, with very little money out of pocket, having to go to school for 63 hours, seriously, 7 days, and the money that realtors make. So you want to pick out something that you're going to go out there, you're going to work hard, because I'm not going to say you don't work hard. You work really hard in real estate, but it's going to give you the highest return on your money. So meaning that you're going to get great paychecks at the end of the month, at the end of the year. So very important. When I been in other lines of work, I have only been in 2 other lines of work prior to real estate. But when I seen what real estate paid, I said, there's nothing to think about.
Absolutely. And what drew you into the leadership role that you have today?
That's a good question. I like that one very much. I come from a very, very, very poor background. My hard working here in the United States, and very country folks. But I decided, even though I'm from the country, I'm not going to be from the country. I'm going to go out there and go for my goals and things like that. And just the human side of me that I felt that I want to give back. If the community is helping us reach our goals, because it wasn't just helping me, it was helping other realtors that were at our office, then I felt back on helping the community, educating other realtors to become very successful, have a career, because a real estate career is a real estate career for life. As long as God gives us life, guess what? It's for life. So education's everything. So I wanted to give back. I've been given a lot. I'm a Christian, and I've been given a lot. So I feel like I should give back, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm still doing it to today's date. I have a love for it. I have a passion for it, and watching other people succeed, accomplishing their goals, and I've seen some great success. Some great success.
And adding to that real quick is there's no age limit in being a realtor.
Absolutely not.
Right?
We've had individuals that come into my office and they've told me, Ishmael, I'm 18 years old. I've been told by other brokerage firms that I'm way too young. And I've said to quite a few of them, I go, listen to this. Do not listen to them. Go over there, get your real estate license. And once you get your real estate license, come back and see me. Because starting at an early age, I have done many shows. I've had many classes and so forth that I've had individuals that have come on board. In fact, I did one the other day. The guy's not even a realtor, but he is an investor. He's a barber, and he decided to go into real estate, and he purchased so many properties. We've helped him with so many properties to this day. And this gentleman, not being a realtor, but having to know that he's got to find another line of work, because being a barber alone, I don't think you're going to, it's going to make a lot of money. So he gets involved into real estate, and this guy's worth over comfortably $10-12 million at this point.
Wow.
Yeah,
As a barber.
Yeah.
But not as a barber, as an investor.
As an investor.
Who also is a barber.
Exactly.
That's
as
awesome.
an investor.
That's great.
Yeah.
How would you describe your recruiting philosophy in today's market?
Simple. We don't have to recruit.
Okay.
We do get a little public awareness out there, and of Partnership Realty, like anything, just called branding. but just word of mouth. The success of the realtors in our office that are achieving, they themselves are telling other coworkers that are seeing that are that are really struggling and not going anywhere, and they're just letting them know of what they're accomplishing with partnership, and you know, they're just it's just coming on board. We get people daily. We get transfers. We get new licensees, and it's daily, daily, day. It doesn't stop. 7 days a week, we're hiring new realtors and transfers as well too.
That's great. That's great. What separates a brokerage that attracts agents from one that simply just needs agents? Like, what separates you guys?
Good question. When ask a brokerage that attracts agents, or maybe just ask you, you've been in the mortgage business for a very long time. Would you prefer to have 2,000 non producing agents or 200 top producing agents?
Much prefer 200.
200. Because 2,000 does nothing for you. It's just a good number. It looks big, but honestly, it's not doing anything. So yeah, as far as marketing goes, our marketing is very accurate. It's very precise, and again, what really brings in the realtors to Partnership Realty is other realtors, other realtors that are telling their fellow workers and things like that.
That's great. That's great. In a competitive market, how do you differentiate your brokerage from national brands? Just to follow up on that question.
That's a good one. And that's a kind of a delicate one for me because I have a lot of great friends. All these local agencies around here, the owners, the brokers, they're personal friends of mine. We get together ever so often, very often, for lunch, for events. And, I'm not badgering any of them, but some of them have a system in place that's very antiquated, and it's going back many, many years. Sure, in the year 2000, it worked perfectly. 1990s, 1980s, 70s, but not in 2026. So nowadays, we have to help the realtor succeed. And when you have a very successful realtor, that realtor again is going to help your company succeed in many aspects. I mean, there's no other real estate agency that's got what, 5 mortgage companies inside their office. You guys being our preferred top producing agents, mortgage company in there. Who else has that? Their own TV studios. And where does that come from? That's come from helping people accomplish their careers. And when we work together as a team, then of course there comes the success for everybody, you know. So very
That's,
important.
and yeah, and then one thing I want to add to that is just being around you and be around your company
Yeah,
for so many years is that you're always different than the other real estate companies I see out there. From the
yeah,
education, from even today, we're in a world of AI. You guys are now training on AI.
absolutely.
Those are things that I don't see the other firms doing. So that's something that I
Yeah.
want to give you guys credit for. I think it's phenomenal.
Thank you.
What does your ideal agent profile look like?
Great one. Love it. Um, um, I will tell you that I get realtors that come in all the time. They go, I've been told from the previous brokerage firm and the previous one, because they bounced around 2 or 3 times. And even when I get a brand new realtor, I always tell them, look, I really would prefer that you go and just, go out there and speak to about 3 or 4 different firms. Just go interview them, see what they offer, then come back and see me. All right. So what differentiates it? Um, is that we are there to help them. We are there to help. And the reason that makes us so successful, a lot of these brokerage firms, they have so many monthly fees,
Yeah.
a lot of monthly fees.
Even
We
they
have
charge you for a coffee. I heard.
they I heard 4.95 for a coffee. They charge you for paper. Uh, just plain white, black and white has one charge. Color has another charge. We give you the paper. We give you the coffee. We give you
Right.
espressos. We have a chef that takes care of you. Okay, but one of the important things is if I was to charge the amount of thousands of realtors that we got a fee, then I call it a one-way highway, okay? Because every single month, if you add up that fee multiplied by thousands of realtors, multiplied by 12 months a month, 12 months in a year, you will see the new huge amount. I'm talking the millions. So everything is going really, really well for Partnership Realty and the broker. But now, if you were to come to me because you referred a realtor over and you would have said, hey, Ishmael, how's that realtor doing that I referred over to you just the other day? I'm going to go, well, honestly, I don't know. Well, Ishmael, why don't you know? I really don't know. Ishmael, do you care? Nope, I'm making millions of dollars. Don't you care how they're doing? Not really. Now that is, we're talking about the fees. That's without the first sale and without with the first rental. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Partnership Realty. When a realtor comes and closes a deal, then Partnership Realty gets their one flat fee, which is a transaction. But multiply that transaction fee for how many closings we do per day, then multiply it how many closings we do per week times 4 weeks, okay? But it's not just, let's pretend you're the realtor. You, the realtor, and Partnership Realty get in their small fee, okay? You can't do a closing without a title company. Yeah, it's impossible. So because you closing on this deal as a realtor, now the title company is also getting a check. And if you use a lender because you're financing, the lender and anywhere from the loan office to the loan originator to the underwriter to the closing department, they're also getting a check. You can't, the survey company is getting a check. The transaction coordinators are getting a check. The inspection company is getting a check. If there's an HOA, they're also getting a check. If there is, for example, you got an estoppel, you've got so many other fees in there as well too. Now your seller, your investor, your contractor, they are also getting a check. There are, hold on, and you'll love this one. Have you guys ever gone out there and tried to insure someone else's home? Yeah. You know why? You don't own it. So now the insurance company is also getting a check. Now look at all the entities surrounding the nuclear of your cell, okay? Because of your closing, look at all the entities. So now this stats, they're not coming from me. These stats are coming from NAR. There's stats coming from RMLS. And they say out of one closing, it equates to over $90,000. Why? Because if you look at all out of one closing, that the realtor could probably be making just $15,000, $28,000, there are $90,000 that's going back into the community. Because now all of these agencies that I already mentioned are getting paid, correct? And they're going out for dinner. They're going out to buy clothing for the children. They're going out to buy, maybe upgrade their car, furniture. But look at what it does to the community. Now let's go back to the antiquated way. I have a monthly fee, and we really don't educate our realtors to be successful. And that's what I do. We educate our realtors 5 days a week, every single day, in Spanish, in English, in Creole, and I don't know. I mean, it's about helping and giving back. It's just a matter of helping and giving back. But everybody's making money there. So the two formulas, which one of the two is the most successful?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The second one.
Of course. And that makes sense. And that's where Florida has always been a state driven by real estate.
Absolutely.
The jobs, the opportunities, everything's about real estate. We don't have factories here, right? It's all about the real estate, So that's a great point.
Yeah, not 18% of the money coming in, and again, these aren't my stats. 18% of the money coming into the U.S. comes from real estate, and then look at how it equates. Now, 18% is a great deal of. That's a huge amount of money. That's almost like 0.25% of the economy coming into the United States.
It's all real estate driven.
Yeah, so
that's
real
awesome.
estate driven. So how important is real estate? Very
Now,
important.
now we know. Do you recruit more based on culture, compensation, technology, training, or what is your key? Or is there one specific thing, or is it everything?
That's a good question. I think training, knowledge is everything. Knowledge is everything. I get realtors that come in and they come into me, they're doing well. They go, I have 5 other friends. We were a total of 6. I have 5 other friends, and 5 of them dropped out. And you know what I always say to them? Can you please call them up? Just have them come interview with me. They don't have to sign up with me. Just interview, hear my point of view, and just listen to my point of view. They don't have to do anything. One of the most important steps that a realtor has to do is obviously get their license. Second step is pick the right agency that is going to help you succeed and strive and become a realtor. Realtors get their license because of 2 things. Let's be honest, okay? I mean, this is we can't. I don't like lying. I can't lie. Realtors get the license because they want that independency,
Right.
to not have to work that 9 to 5 job,
Correct.
and not have a boss over them. Realtors don't have bosses. I'm not their boss. I'm their broker. I'm there to educate them, help them. I'm there to answer the questions, make sure everything is in compliance. Our office is there to offer the support, the tools, the technology, things like that. But picking the right brokerage firm is probably the key most important,
Absolutely.
because they're either going to make you or break you. So you got to get an office that's going to give you everything, like I mentioned, from the classes, the trainings, and then support, tools, technology, everything. So yeah, it's very important.
As a mortgage company, what I noticed working with so many different real estate companies I
Yeah.
mentioned before is not only is that your compensation I know is one of the top in the industry, which is obviously only helps, right? But more than that is that how successful everyone is in your organization. We see that. I see that.
Question.
How they work, how they handle their customers, and all that matters to us as a mortgage company as well. Just because if your agency does not treat the customer well, then it's still a reflection on us as well as your partner, right?
Guaranteed.
So,
100%.
and that's why a lot of times I say, and this is something that's real, is that your organization, I believe, is the best real estate company
Thank you.
in the state of Florida, because you're not outside of Florida yet. I'm
Yeah.
sure one day you will, hopefully. But right now you are, and I have tremendous amount of respect for you. But your
you.
company has earned everything and all the accolades that we see, for sure,
Yes.
for sure.
Definitely has.
How do you approach recruiting new agents versus experienced ones?
We take we take both. I get experience. Okay, we're not going to call it experience. We're just going to call that they've had their license for quite a while. Now we do get some experience, and they're very good, and they've been doing a good time. They're good business-minded individuals, and they only call me up when they need a little bit of guidance and help and things like that. With anything that has to do with financing, legal matters, or ethics, professional standards and things like that. Okay, but you get these agents that have been licensed now for 20 years, 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, and then you compare them to a realtor of ours that's only been licensed for 5 to 6 months or less. And my realtor that's been licensed for 5 to 6 months knows more than that 15-year-old agent, because there's 2 type of knowledge. There's 2 type of training. There is the right knowledge, and then there is the wrong knowledge. The right knowledge comes from hands-on, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. We're talking about that you started from scratch, you've made it up to a certain level, and now you're teaching the realtors on how to do it, how to be successful. So where other individuals, other agencies are contracting certain individuals that are reading from a textbook, have never sold real estate, and then if they did, they tried selling real estate, it didn't work out for them. So what do? They become teachers. So they're reading out of a textbook. Seriously, is that the right person that should be your mentor, your coach? Probably what I'll do with you, if I really want to see how successful I can be from your training, is that when we're leaving, I'll say something like, Javier, Do you mind if I just walk you to your car? I just want to continue talking to you a little bit more. I want to know more about you and things like that. I got a few more questions. I know you got to leave, but can I walk you to your car? Do you really think I want to walk to your car? Or I just want to see your car? I want to see what you're driving. So if you are driving something less than I'm driving, I don't think you're the right, now that you're the right individual to guide me. Or just bring me in your taxes for the last current year. And if you can show me that you are extremely successful, I will be your best worshiper. I will follow you to the end of time. But you must show me, not that you're going to come in there. So a lot of these agencies pay $30, $40 for somebody to come in and just read out of a textbook. Textbook won't do it. So that's why I'm telling you, out of 6 agents, one is succeeding. The other 5 said, "Oh shucks, it wasn't for me." Wrong answer. Real estate is for everybody. It's for everyone at certain levels, okay? But it's for everyone. Real estate is for everyone. I've had people that come in and go, Ishmael, I hate people. I go, I understand. This is a customer oriented line of work. But I really hate people. I go, okay, I do too. But it doesn't mean we're going to start. And can I say something to you? I tell them, once you start making the money that us realtors make, I will promise you that you will find a love for these individuals. You'll welcome them with a warm kiss, a hug, because you'll see how important real estate and how they appreciate what you're doing for them, and then you'll love your career. You'll find a passion. So for right now, you hate them. Let's just leave it at that. Give me a chance to coach you, to guide you, to mentor you, and then we'll talk 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road, if you hate people or not. But I swear I've had them.
You know, I've seen it where we make, and it's a fancy word to say we make dreams happen, and people
Yeah.
use it all the time. But in reality, it is the biggest purchase that an individual does is
One
their
million
home.
percent.
And I love the story. We don't have to, if you want to share it, but I love your story, alpaca story. Back in the day.
Ah.
It's a great story, right? And just to show you the difference of selling a car and selling a
Yeah.
home are two different worlds.
Completely two different worlds. Yeah, I was a spoiled brat back then. So my ex-wife and I, we both were in real estate, doing successfully, monstrously well. And as any divorce, I really don't know any divorces. There are very slight and few of them that we walk away with best friends, hugs and kisses. Nope. Most of them is like you're thinking about which gun should I buy, or what would be the best rifle, what would be the best way of, things like that. Now, guys, I'm joking about that, okay? But anyway, but there aren't good thoughts in your heads.
Right.
So she's in real estate, and I go, I'm getting out of real estate. I am not going to be in the same line of work. Obviously, I was much younger. And when you're young, you don't get a lot of oxygen that goes up to your brain. We just don't get the right kind. At least the male species don't. Okay, females, they're always more intelligent than us, 100%. Ladies are always a gazillion. Thank God for them, because there wouldn't be a planet if there wasn't ladies involved. Educating us and properly coaching us and guiding us. But anyway, what I said was, I'm going to get out. If she's in real estate, I'm not going to be in real estate. I'm a great salesman. And I went into cars. It only lasted for a year. When I saw that my salary was capped, and I seen the millions of dollars that are coming into this dealership, and I'm capped, I go, well, it was nice to know you. I'll go back into real estate. And we had fun. We had fun while we were doing it. I put a great team together. I was assistant manager. I had a great manager there, a great friend of mine, still a great friend of mine, love him to death. But we turned it into the most profitable department of the dealership, the most profitable. And all that comes from great leadership, just great leadership. But my salary was capped, and I know that I deserve more than that. I am not going to be capped at this type of salary. I deserve more, so I went back into real estate. So my pride went down, and I go, I'm back into real estate. So I guess the at the end of the year tax return told me exactly what I had to do. This is what I'm making.
Right,
I'm
right.
out of here.
Absolutely. Going back to what you said earlier, success. Success leaves clues, right? Always, it's my favorite expression. Success leaves clues. You're a man of always been in leadership, even going back to the car dealership, something that
Absolutely.
you enjoyed. Something else I've always said, great players aren't necessarily great coaches. You could be a great
Exactly
salesperson,
right.
but not be a great leader, right?
Absolutely not.
And you've always been in leadership, and I noticed that, and I see that in the culture you have. What I guess the question is this: you are a great leader, and I just want to know, and I want the public to hear this. What do you think is the one key thing that makes you such a great leader?
Loving your job and loving to help others. That is number one. And then second of all is you better know what you're doing. Because if people now are trusting in you, if people are really relying remember, many of them they have families, and they need to pay their bills. We need to pay our bills. Those bills do not stop coming on a monthly basis. So you better know what you're doing. And again, knowledge is power. It's the right knowledge. So one thing I live my life on to this day, I've been in real estate because I started as an investor 32 years ago. I've had partnership realty for 28 years, and I am still being educated and following up with education and education. And every time you think, and that's one of the biggest mistakes on a lot of realtors. The laws are changing at all given times. The way of doing business is changing a lot of given times, and you need to know. You need to be up there. Social media, AI, as you mentioned, and not only that, NAR. You know, there's so much. It's just being on top of your line of work. You need to know what's the latest and educating them properly. Just giving proper education. You know, to the
Fantastic.
individual.
And speaking of that, how important is social media today in our business and real estate
One
business?
million percent. 1 million%. It is the key. Now, I hear realtors that come in all the time and they'll go, Ishmael, I have a website. I want to make my website work. Websites are good. They have an image of you, they speak about you, but they are not the key factor anymore. When you have a website, people come into your website. And in order to come into your website, they need to know your website. Social media, we touch the world. And then when we want to go to a specific market, let's say Canada, okay, we will go to all Canada, or we just will go into Toronto, Ontario, or we can isolate and we can choose and pick where we want it to go to. And how many people will we touch? Millions. Where on a website, they have to know you, and one person alone is going to come in there. The website is good to have. Be very careful with websites because of the Copyright Infringement Acts, copyright laws, music, things like that. Websites are dangerous. Now there are so many, you can go into nar.org, read about it. They're talking about it all the time. The copyright laws, they're no longer held in civil court, state court. They are in federal court. So federal court is a different world.
Yes.
It's very expensive, and you don't want to find yourself. Now it can happen for social media, but again, the lack of knowledge is what gets realtors in trouble. But the realtors that are coming in and being educated on this, again, going back to what we talked about earlier, they don't commit these mistakes because you're educating them, you're educating
Of
them.
course.
So education to me is key.
It's key.
Key factor.
I do want to add one thing to that real quick that a lot of people in the audience, when they hear this, they got to know this about you. One thing I've seen in the past is how you fight for your realtors.
Oh, sure.
I've seen it where you've had an issue, a legal case. I've seen it where you went to the end of the world to make sure you protected them. You were there, basically, soldier right next to them, making sure that you got them out of that problem. And I've seen it firsthand. Where other brokerage, I've seen them have similar issues, and they're like, "You're
Call
on
the
your own."
realtor hotline.
Yeah, exactly. Call realtor hotline. Figure it out. You can do it on your own. But that's one thing that's very important to know, that when I hear a realtor saying I'm leaving partnership, which very rarely happens, the first thing I say is, why would you do that? You have someone behind you with the experience, having that backbone, right? That umbrella, right? Kind of like
Yeah.
why I work at Absolute Home Mortgage. I could be in Fiesta Mortgage, been there for
Right.
22 years, right?
Yeah,
But I'm here because I have that support, that
exactly.
backbone, that umbrella of protection of looking over my back, which is something that I can sleep at night. And as a realtor, with everything going on and what you just mentioned, you need to have that. You need to be under the good umbrella, good agency, and someone's going to fight for them. And that's something that's
Exactly.
important. You just mentioned that. I had to say that to the public there. Something I really respect about you as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you. I could answer that one with 3 words. That's my job. That's my job. It boils down to 3 words. That's
Abs-
my job.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your culture. Okay. Something I love about your company also is your culture. Like, what? Why did you bring a chef to the office? Right? Something different. But just let's talk about the culture itself and just some things that you've done.
Okay. Why did I bring a chef? Well, before social media, uh, I've always been big on education from day one. From day one, and we used to start class at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, remember, there's no social media going on. So I can't start you at an advanced class. I got to start you on whatever topic or subject it is on a basic class. So we would start class from 10 to sometimes 12:30 or 1 o'clock, something like that. And, the realtors wanted more information. Again, knowledge is going to make you, it's going to make your career. So the realtors would have to leave to go have lunch because we're starting right back up at 1 or 1:30. We're starting right back with a now more advanced or a part 2 to the basic class. So they're leaving. And okay, so they're leaving. So now we start from 1:30 or something around 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, depending on when we cut off. And here is more of an advanced class. And then we would take a break again from 5 to 6. And now comes all the realtors, which are almost 70% of the realtors out there, hold a daytime job. These are police officers. These are nurses. These are nurses that work in the OR, just regular nurses, bookkeepers. I can't tell you. Police officers will come in with full gear. Okay. Nurses will come in with their, with the nursing outfits and
Right.
so forth. But they would come in there and they were so appreciative of getting to be able to learn about real estate because there was no real estate online or trainings online or classes online. So now we would give them class from 6 to 8 o'clock at night. Then at 8 we would stop, but it wouldn't stop there because they always have about an hour of questions. So I would be getting home. Obviously, my previous wife would not love that too much, and I had small kids. But this is a career for me. It's a passion for me, and I would get there just to probably. Sometimes they're tucked in the bed already, just to have dinner, take a shower, dinner, and so forth. So here's what I came up with, and this is something now that you're seeing. Lunch and learn. That's something we've been doing it for 28 years. So what we said was, I don't want the realtors to leave. Why don't we do something? Let's order out. So we ordered food to come in, and they would have lunch, and we had a lunchroom right there, so they didn't have to go out and drive out and things like that. So then right after that, I go, geez, why don't we get a chef? Let the chef order the dinner or prepare it. So we kept them there. And these realtors, which are still with me to this day, these realtors were still with me to this day, would come in at 10 o'clock in the morning for their training and leave at 8:30 at night. And here I gotta finish it with this. I get realtors that call me up and they'll ask me, "How long are your classes?" Oh my God, that's like that's like, that one kills me. How long is the class gonna take? I go, "Ma'am, sir, um, it's really you can leave anytime you want. You can leave 5 minutes later. It's your career. If you want, sacrifice yourself. You got that license, and if you really want to make it, you need the training. So
It goes to this. You've said it earlier in the beginning of the podcast was we make our own schedule. It's flexible. But what people don't realize is we're still working 8 to 8, Monday through Friday or Monday to Saturday, right? We're still putting
absolutely,
those crazy hours in, especially in our business. It's your own schedule, but it's a long schedule.
yeah,
It is a hard work.
it is.
It's hard work. Nothing's easy. And the top realtors work many, many hours a
Yeah.
day, right? If not,
And
they'll
I
be
and I,
successful.
I need to but maybe I mean to butt in on that one. So I've got all types of friends, all lines of work. And some of them to get their master's degrees and stuff like that gone 5 to 7 years. And some of them have gone, 10, 12 years and then 3 years of residency. So 13 years of their life. And when they leave and when they actually accomplish it, they got $300,000 to $400,000 in student debt. So now, just because it took them 10 years of getting their, you know, just a regular primary doctor, we're not talking a specialist or anything like that. They still had to do the residency, which is another 3 years. And now they need to work for another 2 to 3 more years to pay back those student loans that they
Right.
own. So it's half of their, not half of their life, but a good portion of their life, okay, to make the money that they deserve. So how can a realtor, and wait, there are realtors that make more than a regular doctor, and some make
Yeah.
more than specialists. Okay,
I see it all
how
the
could a
time.
realtor expect to make what a professional, okay, a doctor or something like that makes, okay, with 63 hours, only 63 hours. You only had to go to school for 63 hours, 7 days, because you can go to school from Monday to Sunday and you can pass your local and then get your state exam, 2 to 3 weeks later. How can you seriously think that you're going to make more than, you're going to make you're going to make $500,000, $250,000, $1 million, or even $150,000? How can you expect it by going to 63 hours when then they cram? If you were to ask me, um, to license a realtor, to license a realtor, how long should they go to school for? I'll have to tell you they need to go like an associate's degree, 2 years, 2 years of schooling before they can get their real estate license. Because every single time that every there's not a single realtor that gets their license that knows anything about real estate. They know zero,
No,
very
you're right.
little.
You're right. I want to close with this question, and I think it's a really good question. Where do you see Partnership Realty in 5 years?
Well, we're nonstop growing. So I really don't know. We are looking into going into Alabama at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're looking to go into
I'll
Alabama.
make sure I'm licensed there next week.
And we, you said it. We would like to see ourselves growing into other states. We have a lot of great things to offer because we're only a one flat fee on a sale, whether it's residential or commercial, one flat fee on a rental, whether it's residential or commercial, and 100% true 100% commission, no monthly fees. We cover everything, your airs and emissions. We cover everything for you.
You don't
Uh,
charge for coffee. You
we
don't
don't charge
charge
for
for
coffee. We
paper.
don't know.
You don't charge for the classes,
And you get a free lunch afterwards.
and you get a free lunch afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Thanks to the mortgage companies like Absolute Home Mortgage,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, that's one thing we have in common in helping our realtors. Yeah, that's one thing that you and I have always shared and we have in common. And I've admired you for so many times. And I've admired Absolute for that. I've always had you guys as, backing us up on everything because you know what we're doing and we're doing. So yeah, um, you know, I don't know. We're moving in that direction.
I'm
We're growing.
excited. I'm excited to see it. I know I'm still relatively young. I know you look extremely young. Okay. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen 5 years from now because I do believe we're going to see, if not the greatest 4 years in real estate coming up here soon.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. This 2026 and what's coming, we're prepared for it. We are prepared for it. That's the great thing about it. We are prepared for it. We've lived it, we've done it, and now we're gonna do it even better, especially with our technology that we got nowadays. Wow, amazing! I can't wait. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, Ismael, I want to thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Another great podcast with the one only, the great Ismael. Thank you all. And we'll hope to see you here at the next podcast. And I hope to bring him back for more questions. I have like 20 more questions to ask him. But again, thank you, Ismael. Again, thank you.